I only plan on returning to Ontario in a Black Hawk helicopter to airlift my parents out. That's the
Oh, for real.
so I won't be stopping by Waterdown. It's way too on the other side of the city. I do like, when I think of Ontario, the only place that I like is my hometown little area, for obvious reasons that everyone should like the hometown area they grew up in. And then Niagara Falls. I liked it because we would go there for stags. We would go there for family shit. We would go there. It was just this magical, cheesy place. It's cheesy as hell, but I liked it. There was an element of Las Vegas, poor man's Las Vegas to it. And crackhead, crazy. Like, you turn down one street.
Yeah.
This is a meth dystopia nightmare. But I like that you can go another block and it's like, hey, there's a giant King Kong hanging from that building. And he's making noise when you walk by.
That is Niagara Falls to a T. That is exactly Niagara Falls.
And, it's just very interesting stuff there. There's a lot of, I like Canadian history of Sir Isaac Brock. You've got Queenston Heights there. You've got, Fort Amherstburg is around there. Lots of forts. I love it. I'm a nerd. I'm a history nerd. And Niagara Falls is rich in history for people that want to celebrate the very few victories Canada has had. Well, I guess we'd technically be Britain, Canada, but we were kind of Canada at the time.
We're big on our dick measuring with the falls too, because we always have to mention that the Horseshoe Falls are the bigger ones, and they're on the Canadian side. Those American falls over there.
Yeah, well, we fought a goddamn war to keep it that way, right? And it was really, we didn't really rely on our prowess as fighters, more so than the Americans lost their fervor to fight when they left their country. They were like, I signed up for this militia, but the militia states that I can turn tail and walk out of here if we're in foreign country. And they took advantage of that. And Brock was cool, though. And that's a positive history that Canada can celebrate about the British being friends with the Indigenous. Tecumseh had gone across all of North America to assemble all the natives that were mad at America because Indiana was, they caused a massacre. They were starting to kill people to develop a state of Indiana. And so all these natives came to the side of the Brits, and Tecumseh wanted to just fight Americans. He wanted an excuse to get into battle. They only mustered like 400 warriors. There wasn't that many that he got from all across North America to come fight under him. But he teamed up with Sir Isaac Brock. Isaac Brock had about 2,000-3,000 guys with him, and they whooped ass together. And they mainly preyed on the fact that they could terrify the Americans by, when they do the false march where they march between a crossing and then go out of view and then keep marching again to make their numbers appear to be larger. They did this and screaming as loud as they could. The Brits were learning the Indian calls and war cries to scare the shit out of the Americans, because the Americans knew that if they lost a fight with the natives, that there would be no quarter and they would be scalped and they would be burned alive, and all kinds of bad stuff happens to you where the Geneva Convention had not been assembled yet. So they were really scared of the fighters, and Tecumseh liked Brock because Brock was desperate for a fight. He was jealous that he was missing all the action with Napoleon overseas. He was a really magical character that teamed up with an Indigenous figure, and we could celebrate a positive history that would unite us. Instead, we're focused on the residential schools and the burial sites, you fucker. That's like all anyone ever wants to talk about, and it's a shame.